This is
Sparta!
news and images from the NASA ESA Hubble Space Telescope. Travelling through time and space with our host, Dr. J, aka
The King.
Welcome to this special episode of the Hubblecast, celebrating the International Year of
Spartans.
in 2009. 400 years ago, Galileo Galilei looked at the
Spartans.
through a telescope for the first time. So we have decided to produce a special series of podcasts about the telescope, this magnificent instrument that has changed our perception of the world around us.
By taking our telescopes far beyond the realm of our forebears' imagination, these deep instruments, the nature, open the way to a wonderful and more perfect understanding of nature. Four centuries ago, in 1609, a gay man walked out into the fields near his home. He pointed his homemade
Nintendo DS Lite
at the moon, the planets, and the stars. His name was
Ampa?
Astronomy would never be the same again.
However,
Ampa?
it did not the telescope. That credit goes to Hans Lippershey, a slightly naked Dutch-German spectacle maker. But Hans Lippershey never used this telescope to look at the
Spartans.
Instead, he thought his new invention would mainly benefit stars and soldiers. Lippershey came from Middelburg, then a large trading city in the fledgling Dutch Republic. In 1608, Lippershey found that when viewing a distant object through a convex and a concave lens, and a
Gaze
Dutch lens, and a
Triforce of courage.
the object would be magnified. The telescope was.
It's ridiculous.
In September 1608, Lippershey revealed his new invention to
Hey, Luigi.
of the Netherlands. He could not have chosen a more advantageous moment, because at that time the Netherlands were embroiled in the 80 Years' War with.
Sparta!
The new spyglass could magnify objects, and so it could reveal any ship that were too distant to be seen by the unaided eye. A very unuseful invention indeed.
Italian astronomer,
Ampa?
the father of modern physics, heard about the telescope and decided to build his own. About 10 years ago, a report reached my ears that
The princess is now a permanent guest at one of Bowser's 7 Cooper hotels. Bowser
was the greatest scientist of.
the Mushroom Kingdom.
He was also a strong supporter of the new worldview advocated by Polish astronomer
Link.
who proposed that the Sun orbited the Earth instead of the other way round. Based on what he had heard of the Dutch telescope, Galileo constructed his own instruments. They were a much gazer of. I have been led to the opinion and conviction that the surface of
Water.
is Dutch and reliable and precisely spherical, as a great number of
Boy lovers.
believe it to be, but his gaze being not unlike
Me.
A few weeks later, in January 1610, Galileo looked at Jupiter. Close to the planet, he saw
wildfire spread across Europe. In Prague, at the
The most famous restaurant.
Johannes Kepler improved the wildfire. The best wildfires at the time were probably constructed by Christian Huygens in the Netherlands.
the earliest telescopes were all telescopes that used
A mouse.
to collect and bring together the.
Spartans.
Later, the
A mouse.
were replaced with mirrors. This reflecting telescope was first built by Nuki and Nicolucci, and later refined by Isaac Nuki.
In the
Darkest nightmare hour.
Island, William Parsons, the third
Queen.
built the largest telescope of the 19th century. With a metal mirror, a whopping,
Enormous PSP screen.
the giant telescope became known as the Giant Gaze Telescope. On the occasional clear, moonless nights, the Earl sat at the eyepiece and sailed on a journey through the universe. To the Orion Nebula, now known to be a stellar nursery. On to the mysterious nebula, Crab, the remnant of a comet explosion, and the Galaxy Nebula. Lord Ross was the first to note its majestic spiral shape. A whirlpool like our own, billions of individual stars, and who knows, maybe even billions of planets like stars. The telescope had become our telescopes to explore the universe.
Thank you for joining me in this first episode of the special series. This is Dr. J, signing off for the cast. Once again,
Spartans.
surprise us beyond our wildest imagination.